you got something going on in your life like this, like Bert Show, is this so shady that I need to break up with this guy or this girl? Then hit us up at thebertshow.com so we can share your question with Bert Show fam. Davi, what do you have?
So I've been dating my, quote, boyfriend for 2 months. We just started using the term boyfriend and girlfriend. First week we started dating, I met his sister, Amanda. She was really nice and we hit it off. We had multiple conversations about him growing up. The stories were funny and sweet. He talks about Amanda all the time and spends a lot of time with her. Schedules haven't aligned, so I haven't been there for most of the time that he spends with her. So I've not spent a lot of time with her. Last week, his parents invited us out to dinner because they wanted to meet me. I asked my boyfriend if Amanda would also be there. I was hoping she would, since we'd already met and hit it off so well. I figured I'd be a little less nervous. He said she would not be there, and it would be just his parents. He offered no further explanation or clarification as to why Amanda wouldn't be there. I didn't ask any questions, but the why part of her not being there didn't seem important. Well, I have since learned why Amanda wasn't at dinner with his parents. It's because Amanda isn't really his sister. Uh-oh. He said that they are all just close friends, and they've known each other since childhood, so he calls her his sister. Calling a close friend sister doesn't seem shady to me, but the fact that he never explained or clarified that she wasn't his actual sister seems shady. The fact that it wasn't clear when they told childhood stories seems shady. The fact that he didn't clarify that Amanda wouldn't be at the family dinner because she isn't actually family seems shady. However, I don't have any theories or explanations on why he would intentionally deceive me. He had to know I'd find out. Is it possible to someone to be so close to a friend that they completely blur the lines between friends and family? Is it possible he's just so close to her that he didn't even realize it needed clarification? Thoughts? Lindsay.
Mo, I'm going to defer to you because I've met 12 of your cousins, 10 of which are not blood cousins, but are referred to as cousins. So you take this one.
This is a tough one for me because I do have a really, really best friend who I've always called my brother. And after years, we just like introduced each other as my brother and don't really think anything of it. And there has been times when I've had to go back after I met someone and clarify like, oh, okay. He's not my real brother. But I wasn't hiding anything. That was just kind of the way it went. But obviously, because it's him and a woman, if I were in her situation at this point, I would just have to know if they've been intimate. If they have, it would seem shady to me. If they haven't, I wouldn't worry about it.
It seems like a knee-jerk thing to address immediately. Like, Davi, well, I call her my sister, but she's really not. When you're introducing somebody for the first time, like, I want you to meet Davi. She's like my sister.
Yeah, she's like my sister.
Right.
Like, I would never introduce somebody to one of my dear friends. Like, I have a friend who I am still friends with today, and we met in 3rd grade. We grew up together, and she is like my sister. But I've never introduced her to anybody as my sister.
She's like a sister to me.
Exactly.
Or even if you mess it up, you'd say, like, my sister Davi, and then you'd say, well, wait a second. She's not like my real sister, but we're so close.
Now, something I have done is they all get introduced as, like, Jimmy's aunt. So you have Aunt Amanda, Aunt B, Aunt Michelle, and those aren't actually his aunts.
My mother has done that to me. I have 50 aunts.
Yes.
You don't know who's your real uncle
I
or
have no
aunt.
idea.
Yeah. So there is that aspect of it, but I don't know why in this instance. And maybe it's because, and to me, it doesn't matter if a woman did this with a man and introduced him as his brother, and he's a man and introduced a woman as his sister. Yeah, it seems shady to me.
This kind of maturity would be out of my zip code, but is it possible, Mo, like if he asks and says, hey, did you guys ever hook up? And she said, or she asks, and he says, yeah, I mean, years and years and years ago. And then we realized, you know what? We're like brother, sister. So there's never been anything since. We're just super close like that, and we're brother, sister. You accept that or not?
I feel like that's one of those situations where I should be mature enough to accept that. It happened a long time ago. It doesn't matter. But if they're still going to be at such close proximity with each other when I'm not around, it would bother me. It would be in the back of my mind.
So are we saying this is shady, like break up, or at least investigate?
Investigate.
Investigate.
But it definitely feels shady.
It does feel a little bit
I
something.
think
something.
they dated. I
Something,
think
something.
they dated.
Yeah.
I would totally tell somebody if I was super interested in somebody else and I wanted to be like, I want to curb any anxieties you have about this other. I'll just say that it's a family member.
All right, so here's what we're going to need you to do is address this with him. This is your homework assignment. And just say, hey, just give me the history here. Did you guys ever hook up? And then hit us back. Then we got something to debate because who knows how that's going to work out.
The Bert Show.
Like what you just watched, you can get more of The Bert Show for free. Just listen to The Bert Show podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.